Good evening, folks. My name is Gold Buddha, and today I'm bringing you The Evil Within, the new DLC that was released 2 days ago now. I played it quite a bit. Tuesday it was, yeah. I had time off of work, so I just sat down and played it. I didn't actually realise it was going to be released until the same day, so I'd never heard of it or anything like that. I just happened to pop onto the trophies of The Evil Within, and then it came up with the third DLC, and I was like, that's strange. Didn't know there was a third one, so did a quick search and then found out it's been released on the same day. Not too bad. But anyway, what I'm doing here is going to do a speed run without being hit, just to show you sort of how to go about the certain bosses without being hit, as well as trying to do it in under 20 minutes. I don't think it's too difficult. I've done it in, I think, just over, with a couple of mistakes, so we'll see what we can get here. But obviously, if you've been on the trophy guide, you'll see that there's a trophy for doing the whole thing without being hit. Something like, got a box of steel. Do the play on balls of steel. So yeah, that looks a bit daunting, that trophy at first, but actually it's pretty simple. Pretty simple to do. But the first boss, which we're going to head to now, is the Sadist. Weird chainsaw guy that was trapped in the barn in the main game and decidedly comes out. That tripwire back there is all of a sudden, I think it's the only tripwire in the game actually, attached to a bomb. In a DLC, I mean. So you can either crouch under it or throw a chair at it. So the Sadist. I tend to use the chainsaw because he seems to be very, very weak to it. Weak to his own weapon. Nice. Also, you'll notice that I will have infinite ammo. None of my ammo will go down because I've completed the last execution room. And I've also... yeah, sorry, it is the execution room that unlocks infinite ammo, I believe. Either that or it's all the torments. Oh, that was a shocking miss. But yeah, just beat him down. Make sure he doesn't hit you obviously with a swing. 3 shots, and he shoots down like a sack of spuds. Lovely jubbly. So yeah, none of my ammo will go down. I won't overuse things, so even if I wasn't using infinite ammo, then I wouldn't run out. Because I don't specifically use something quite a lot. Apart from the sword, I like the sword. The sword's quite powerful. But yeah, onto the second boss, Zen, ironically named, which is the big grey twin thing. But luckily we don't have to face them as the twins when they kill us guy, because I've actually ran past him before and he's just given me a quick slap on the ass. But then again, of course, that counts as a hit, so you'd have to start again. Although it is worth saying, if you do get hit, you can actually just restart the checkpoint, as long as you don't obviously hit the next checkpoint and then restart, because then it's going to save your hit. But say if you're in like a boss battle, say if I went into this Zen thing now and it hit me, I could just restart the checkpoint, I'll start back in the hallway and then I can just run back to the boss battle. So in that respect it's quite easy, you don't exactly have to start the whole DLC again. Although if you did, it wouldn't be too much of an issue, because it's not that long. So yeah, Zen, I just got onto the arrow thing, shot him, he went down, stabbed him a couple of times with a sword. If you face down and attack with a sword, you'll stab like I was just then. I hit him, not quite dead, but one more slash with a sword and he's down, also like a sack of spuds. Not too bad. Just going well. Going well so far. Don't know what that's all about. The blood pouring over the painting. Maybe it tells you somewhere. Maybe I didn't really follow the story. All I was interested in is it tied up a loose end that I was wondering about, because obviously at the end of the main story you see Leslie. And you're just wondering, what's Leslie doing walking away? And it answers that question. I won't say, just in case you are watching this without knowing the story. Don't really want to ruin it for you. But it answers that question, and answers why Leslie was there at the end. Third boss, Joseph. I think this is the only boss that gave me a little bit of issues. It's just because I was playing around with different ways of trying to kill him without him pulling out his gun. His gun was really annoying because it's just, obviously it's a ranged attack, so I'm going to run over here straight off. He hasn't spawned yet. And then he'll come in. Mr. Joseph Oda. What's really weird is the first time I played this, he walked in, he spoke in English, and he's like, there you are. And now every other playthrough, he speaks in what I assume is Japanese, maybe. Strange. So, I'm going to wait until he fires twice, not including the Molotov cocktail, which you can hear. And then I'm going to run over here and set up some traps. Got one there, which is for him himself, and then I'm going to put a couple more to stop that guy hitting me. Then I'm going to pull out the sword, I'm going to do the downward stab. And he's out and about. Well, actually, no, he's not out and about, he's dead. He ain't going out and about ever again. You can point your gun at me all you want. You did. You did. Okay. So, 3 down, 3 to go. I think I restarted, I think, 4 or 5 times on him. Just figuring out a way. I was just like, is the chainsaw super effective? No. Sword? No, really. And then I had the traps. I thought, oh, the traps might be a good idea because they're now stopping. So, traps are a very good idea. I assume you can use the traps on Sebastian as well. But I'm not going to do Sebastian in this run because you don't need it for the trophy. So, we'll just go straight on to the next boss, which is, I believe, the RPG sadist. I think. Yes. But I don't use a chainsaw on him, because I find the chainsaw isn't as effective as the normal sadist. When he pulls out his chainsaw at the end, then I use a chainsaw on him, but with his RPG he doesn't seem to be as weak to it, so again I just go to the sword and slash him up a bit, which we'll see in a minute, once we do the most gruesome teleport ever. If teleporting is ever being invented, or it's ever will be invented, I hope it's not like that. It looks painful, and I think I'd just rather walk, to be honest. Well, that particular gap I'd just rather run and jump. I'm going to run my head off. But there's no jump, so we can't jump over that gap. Grab this little note. Get rid of the dodgy looking white stuff all over the door. What? I don't know. I don't know what it is. I'm assuming it's webs, maybe? Doesn't really look like webs. Looks like something a lot worse. I'm sure it's not. That's just weird. So obviously you've got to go past all these spikes. I think this is the longest run between the lobby and the actual boss himself. Yeah, so the RPG sadist. So this time I'm not actually going to do what I did with Joseph. I'm not going to run under there. I'm going to wait until the guy comes out the door. He's still going to come out the door normally. He's going to overkill it. I'm going to wait until he runs out and then start running, because then he's going to fire the rockets. He won't hit me. Just slash him a few times. Usually doesn't get stuck on that box, so it got me a couple of extra hits in. So, by the way, he'll run down there, and I'm going to stay up here because the balcony will protect me from the rockets. And once he's reloading, I can come down, slash him up again, get his chainsaw out. I hate that little haunted. That's what you've got to be careful of in the boss battle, is the haunted coming out of nowhere. There we go. Chainsaw would finish him off. He does get faster when he pulls out his chainsaw. Like the first Sadist with just the chainsaw, he doesn't ever run or anything like that. He just kind of stays to his slow walk. Whereas that one, you pull out his chainsaw and he'll start running at you. Not sprinting, but running a lot faster. On to the fourth, well, not fourth one, fifth one. This one, yeah. Get rid of the dodgy stuff on the door. The Amalgam Alpha, I think. Yeah. Another sexy teleport. Can't beat them. Oh yeah. And then this is, you got to do the weird sequence here. You got to chase the invisible guy. Which is really weird. But, okay. And I don't think the door unlocks until you catch it. Never actually tried the door. That was close. Die. And there we go. Lovely. Lovely. Jubbly. Let's go. Let's go. There's a couple of ways you can kill this boss. The way I think it encourages you to do, which you'll probably see now, I'll probably tell you, you can hit the cars back at him. But he comes out, and if you hide behind a car, which I'm not going to use, I'm just going to RPG him. But you can just sort of hide behind the car, not right behind the car, but a while back from the car. He'll hit the car at you, and then you hit triangle, and you just fire the car back in. Which then will make him go down like he did just a minute ago with the RPG shot, and you can get a couple of slashes in if you want. He doesn't stay down for long at all, he stays down for maybe 2-3 seconds. I'm just going to keep firing. Still being aware of not overusing the RPG in case you don't have infinite ammo. So, 6, 7 rockets, something like that. Or they didn't use over 10, it's fine. But again, you don't have to use rockets, there's plenty of cars, there's at least, I think, 8 or 10 cars there, so you can just hide behind the cars and hit them back. All you've got to be careful of is the Haunted in the garage, because a couple of times I got hit whilst I was too busy hitting the main boss, and then one of them will just come and bitch slap you. And then you'll be like, damn! And then you just got to restart a checkpoint. Not too much of an issue, but... Then this bit. Little patient rooms. I think when I streamed this Tuesday, whilst I was playing through it for the first time, it was actually getting quite a lot of negative comments on it. Not because I'm like shit at the game. I mean, I'm not saying I'm good, but I mean, they were saying like because it's so different from the main game. Because obviously now your first person is no longer third person. But I actually quite like it. I don't think different is like a massive issue. It's like the main thing is that comes to mind when I say change, it's not a bad thing, is SSX, the snowboarding. SSX and SSX Tricky were awesome, and then the SSX that came to the PS3 that got a lot of negativity because it was so different from like other lot. Oh no, there's number 3 as well in there, and on tour and stuff. But no, I liked it. I like the fact that they can jump. As long as it's a good change, like it could be a bad change, like make it awful, like you could make SSX like a first-person shooter, and then it's just going off the rails. Anyway, back to the Evil Within. The final boss, or technically final 3, because you got killed 3 times. So, I don't know what I'm doing with the trap now. I'm gonna chuck it down, see if it injures him. Because I had the idea, on the third one, on the third form, you've got to hit him before you can actually get him. You'll see in a minute. But obviously that first bit, he doesn't charge on his first form, so you can just wait for him to walk under the trap, and then the lever can go down and he can be crushed. And then we're on to the second one, which will spawn right here. You'll see it's not letting me pass first of all, but it would eventually. Wait for him to spawn. I use a little trick now, because when he comes up here, he now gains the ability to charge at you from a distance. So from here, if he stood under the trap now, he'd recognise you were there and then charge at you and do a couple of life slashes, whatever. So what I do, I wait for him to get around there, and then I run all the way back round. And then I'm going to hide in this little corner here. Doesn't look like I'm hiding much in the corner, but if you face there, you can operate the lever. And for some reason, he won't charge at you because he can't see you fully or whatever. So it saves you from having to dodge some weird hits. Kind of a cheap way, but sod it. I might as well. Get you a trophy, done it. And the third form, which is annoying, I'm going to chuck a trap because I wanted to test. Obviously, you've got to hit him out of the lower arm form. So I would have thought if I was in another room and he spawned near the trap, then the trap would hit him and kick him out of the form, so I don't actually have to run back and hit him. But it didn't work because the trap's gone. Great. So I'm going to avoid that lower arm now. I will chuck a trap now, just in case. Lower arms are there. I hate the arms, they're so like the bullshit really. Because of the one hit kill thing. I'm trying to get into that room. Come on. Let me in. What I usually do, great. What I usually do is I'm in this main room. I wait until the lower arm spawn twice, and I run into the small room here. And I'm going to wait for the lower arms to come around that corner, which they usually do. Which of course it's not going to do now. It's going to spawn behind me. Shit. But either way, it spawns there. So give him a quick nudge on the head with your hammer. Run off. I'm going to run all the way around though to make sure he comes around this direction. Because now essentially he's in his what equates to the second form again. So he's just got his charge power. So I'm going to go back into my little corner, which is nice and safe, nice and snug. Here he comes. Come on, my son. Come on. Come on. There we go. And that's it. That's the final boss done with no damage. It's not too difficult. And hopefully we've done that in under 20 minutes. So that'd be good. A nice little speed run, nice little guide. Well, I say nice little guide. That's not for me to decide. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. This is actually my first ever YouTube video that I've properly done. I say properly done. I know I haven't done any titles or anything like that, but I will get used to it. So any criticism, constructive criticism, bad criticism, insults, positivity, it's all good. You can send me whatever. Just feedback would be greatly appreciated. But 18 minutes and 22 seconds. Boom. Lovely. But yeah, guys, if you enjoyed it and want to see more, maybe, then subscribe. I'll put my Twitter and my Twitch, because I live stream occasionally now. Getting used to the whole idea. I'll put that all in the description. Thank you very much, guys. Have a good evening.